Dear Diary, there's only 2 games left in the championship season and we are inside the playoff zone about to host Reading, already relegated, and Luton Town, just above Reading in secured safety. So I'd like to think we can pick up enough points to lock that spot away. However, Shaun has been injured in training and is going to be unavailable, likely until the playoff final, if we get that far. Let's hope the boys can rally without him and still give us a chance for promotion. Until next time. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 42 of FMOE here on Shaun Does FM with Cardiff City. I hope you are doing well, and coming up today we play our last 2 games in the regular season against 2 teams right down the bottom of the table in Reading and Luton Town, both at home. If we win both of those games, we are definitely in the playoffs, which will be coming up in tomorrow's episode. Otherwise, things get a little bit interesting, and as you can see on screen, we're going to have to do that without our star striker in Shaun. So if you are looking forward to today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But these are the games right off the back of where we did leave things at the end of yesterday's episode. If you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. And unfortunately, there's been a training injury for Shaun, a hamstring strain. He is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. It might mean he could be back in time for the latter stages of the playoffs if we get that far. But it is a big injury for a player who has been in great form for us so far since we have joined Cardiff City in the save this season. He's had 22 starts for us and 19 goals. He has been a real good striker for us up front, so it's going to be a big loss without him, albeit thankfully we did get Tresolde in from Brighton in the January transfer window on loan, so it is going to be his time to step up during today's episode. And as you can see, in terms of star rating and theory, he should be a better player, but in terms of form, hasn't quite been as good as Atete, albeit hasn't quite got the same amount of minutes. That is a big blow for us going into these last 2 games of the season, and hopefully the playoffs as well. But if we go over and have a look at the table and the matchups that are coming up during today's episode, first off we take on Reading. They are already relegated down in 22nd spot, and then off the back of that, on the final day of the season, we host Luton Town. They are just above that, already guaranteed safety. I'd like to think these are 2 games we can pick up 6 points from, and if we do that, we will stay inside the playoff picture, already being in 5th place. If we drop one of those games, things could get very interesting, with Sheffield United, Norwich and West Brom all capable of overtaking us if we do drop points. And as you can see there, if we go back to this current match week, all of those teams do have quite kind endings to the season. In particular, Norwich City, they are the team I do expect to end up in that playoff picture come the end of today's episode, and that is the reason I would like 6 points from these 2 games. But first off, we do take on Reading, already relegated. They do play a 5-2-2-1 with Phil Parkinson in charge, albeit you go and have a look at their last known lineup. There are some decent names on that team sheet, including the likes of Danny Ward in goals. It's a bit surprising that they are going to be going to League One at the end of this season, but based on form, you'd like to think this is a team we are capable of beating, albeit as you can see there, they do have some recent history in picking up points against teams in and around the same area as us, most notably Blackburn and Norwich City. So we certainly need to respect them, even though they are going down to League One at the end of the season. But it hopefully is a game we can pick up all 3 points from, and we'll come back shortly from the Cardiff City Stadium. Hopefully get off to a good start today as we take on Reading at home, trying to secure that playoff spot. And here are the team sheets for this first clash of today's episode. As mentioned earlier, Tresolde up front. Also, Henry Timmy Davies makes his way onto the bench. A little surprised to see him lurking in the under-21s with that injury to a Tite, but apart from that, we are at full strength. There you can see Reading. There are some notable names in that team, as I said earlier. Surprising to see them already relegated, but hopefully we can pile on the misery and secure ourselves in the playoffs just a little bit more. And only 3 minutes into this one, we do get our first highlight as a throw-in to Reading, who are in the pink and black back at home today. We are in the all blue, and they try and play out from the back here, putting a ball over the top, but Coventry does win that back for us, and we get a chance ourselves to play out from the back and immediately make our way inside the Reading half. We try and put a ball in there for Tresoldi, but don't quite link up, and now Pablo Moreno is in possession for Reading, but thankfully we do get the ball back and now switches out to the right-hand side. Good early chance for Tresoldi, but unfortunately puts that one wide. Hopefully that does not become a habit during today's episode. 0-0 early doors. And that was the only highlight of the first half. We go into the sheds locked up at 0-0. In terms of the overall momentum, it is certainly on our side. But unfortunately, so far, Tresoldi not playing well. What I am going to do here is chuck Ruben Colwell up front, because in terms of star rating for the position, he's actually quite well suited. And Mohamed Ahatalan can come off the bench for Tresoldi. So we'll see if that works during the second half. And hopefully we can grab a goal to make sure that we pick up all 3 points here against Reading. And nearly at the hour mark, we get our first highlight here of the second half. It is a free kick, which Coventry tries to put far post, but we do get possession back from that clearing header. But then McGuinness unfortunately gives the ball away to a Reading player, but they do clear it back. And Mateju is there to tidy things up, starts to make his way towards the right-hand side. And hopefully this does end up being a good chance for us, Coventry. He finds Ben Hardy, nice ball in behind there for Galassi. He puts that one away, but unfortunately, I think I saw the assistant referee somewhat put his flag up, and indeed, that goal is going to get ruled out for offside. There is very, very little in that one, but he is just offside as Norwich grab a lead against Wigan, but we are still locked up here at 0-0 at the 61-minute mark. And only a few minutes off the back of that previous highlight, yet again we are in possession. As you can see, before this highlight started, we did go to a more positive mindset. Hopefully that does work in the later stages of this one. Big chance here though for Colwell, but he misses the target. That's been the story of our day so far. Still 0-0 with 25 minutes left. And just under 20 minutes left in this game now. We do have a goal kick here for Reading, which Danny Ward pumps deep, but Urhog Hyde will win that. Little bit of aerial ping pong here, but Reading are going to end up in position. They play a ball over the top. Missed here there by Mark McGuinness, although someone should have shut down Pablo Moreno, but somehow that beats Persin at his near post. And all of a sudden, we might be in a little bit of trouble if we are going to try and make the playoffs as Sunderland grab an equaliser against West Brom. But McGuinness there should have done it with their header. And then somehow Moreno beats Persin there from a tight angle. And it is 1-0 Reading with 18 minutes left. And we might be forced into a substitution soon off the back of that. Ruben Colwell not doing too well up front. We may as well try Henry Timmy Davies, I think, in that position. Also, Galassi not playing well. So what we're going to do is bring on Timmy Davies, I actually think, for Galassi, and Colwell can go back to his usual home. And while we're here as well, Connor Nelson can come on for Urhog Hyde. He is down to a red heart, even though he is playing quite well. And hopefully that might help us grab an equaliser at the very least inside these last 15 minutes. And only 5 minutes left in this one. It looks like we might drop points here. Rather frustratingly, there's a header there for Reading, but thankfully that one does go over the bar. We are going to go on to attacking, and it might be time for us to try a few more substitutions in this situation. I think this time we are going to take off Ruben Colwell, and the best option on the bench might be Alex Patterson. He does have some goal scoring history of late, so he can come on. Also do John Sterling for Ben Hardy as we try and do something late in this one, needing at least a point from this one, I think, to make sure we don't end up in a spot of bother. This would be probably our most disappointing result so far since we have been in charge here at Cardiff City if we were to drop points in this game. As we get things back underway, there's going to be 3 minutes of added time, but unfortunately, despite all our dominance, we somehow suffer a 1-0 defeat. To be fair, we did do something similar a couple of episodes ago, I remember, but that is a disappointing result, especially at this time of the season, and maybe the loss of Keona Tete is going to have a bigger impact than I thought it might. That is, as I said, a very, very disappointing result. We'll tell the boys that was not good enough at all. They seem to have reacted to that all right, which is good because the dynamics here are still not that great. And that has meant we have dropped outside of the playoff picture with wins to Norwich, 2-0 over Wigan, and also Sheffield United have done enough to jump above us as well. So that is not a good result. Thankfully, Coventry have also lost, so in theory, we could still go above them if we win on the final day with our goal differential, but it does make things a little bit tricky now. We sit outside of the playoffs with that last game of the season coming up as we take on Luton Town. So a disappointing result there to start off today's episode. That makes our task a little bit tougher, albeit we do now have an update on this takeover, which has been in the works for a little while here behind the scenes at Cardiff City. The owner was looking to sell when we did take over the club. As you can see, it looks like someone is now stepping up. Neil here, unfortunately, can't actually click on him to see what he does look like, but it does look like we might be in for a takeover here at Cardiff. Hopefully, that doesn't have too much of an impact on our upcoming transfer window, especially if we can make the playoffs and somehow find a way to get up into the Premier League. And we are back on the day of this last game of the season off the back of that takeover update. As you can see, Brendan Motta and Callum Robertson have both just come back from injury, so they will make their way onto the bench. Otherwise, it's going to be the same starting lineup as we did put out in that loss against Reading. Hopefully, we get the job done here and might be able to make the most of some slip-ups by other teams. If we go and have a look at the fixtures, as you can see, Crystal Palace and Southampton already promoted, but we need one of Blackburn, Coventry, Sheffield United or Norwich to drop points. I say that, I think Blackburn's goal differential is going to mean that they're going to finish above us anyway. So really the games that we're keeping an eye out on here are the ones with Coventry. They take on Blackpool at home. That looks very winnable for them. Sheffield United, they are away to QPR, seeing as they're away. That might be the game most likely where there is a slip up. And Norwich City, as I said earlier, they have quite a good run home. They take on Bristol City at home, albeit Bristol City did take points off us prior to the games that we did play in yesterday's episode. And also, I suppose, Sunderland are in the mix, and they are taking on Reading at home. Based on what we did just see, that could be a tricky little game as well, despite the fact that Reading are already relegated. So we're going to need to keep an eye out on a few other games here, but hopefully we get the job done and those other results fall in our way somewhat, and we'll come back shortly with all the action from Cardiff City Stadium as we take on Luton Town. That is probably what we're going to look like, playing a 4-2-3-1, and hopefully we can pick up a result and have other ones go away and make our way back into the playoffs. And just shy of the 10-minute mark, we get our first highlight in this crucial game for us. We have a throw in here inside the final third. Luton Town are in the red and the white. Blackpool ahead of Coventry, and Gallissay heads that one home as QPR are also beating Sheffield United. What a start, and QPR make it 2-0 early. It's a perfect start here on this final day of the season for us. Nice ball there from Colwell, and Gallissay heads that one home, and it looks like now we are back inside the playoffs. And at the 21-minute mark, we get a free kick here right on the edge of the box, which Coventry is going to try and put hopefully in that top right corner, currently in fourth on the live league table. That one comes off the post, so it's been a good start for us here, but unfortunately we are only still up by 1-0, albeit other results, those ones involving Blackpool and QPR, do mean we are now in a very, very good position, albeit still a long way to go, and now we are still on the attack. Jacques will put that one into the mixer, and Nicolo Tresoldi will tap it home. Might have been a big deflection there off of Moore, and indeed it was the case, because apparently a missed interception, but it's been a much better start to this one than we did have against Reading this time, putting the ball in the back of the net. Nice ball there from Rowles, Jacques in a bit of space, and Tresoldi with the simple finish to make it 2-0, and we should now definitely be in a good position on that live table, albeit Norwich have just gone above us, but now we have a corner. We put this one into the mixer. They do hit it clear to Luton Town, but Coventry finds Jacques, and quite a bit of space there on that left-hand side. He beats Davies in goal, and just shy of the half-hour mark, We make it 3-0 Cardiff City. This is the best start we have had to a game in a long time here at Cardiff City. And right when it was needed as well, Coventry finds Jackalis off the back of that corner, and he does some good work here. Beats the goalkeeper. That's a little bit weak from him, but we're doing our job very well now. 3-0 up, just shy of the half-hour mark, and that will firmly put us inside that playoff zone with those other results the way that they're going. And off the back of that third goal, we have just noticed down there that Jackalis has picked up an injury. And as you can see, the reason Sheffield United might be struggling is the fact that they have got a player sent off. So I don't know if they can come back from that, and that will do us the world of good if that is the case. But Jackalis, hampered by injury off the back of that good goal that he scored, will take things safe, give Robinson some game time off the back of recovering from his injury for this last hour with that 3-0 lead. And with only a few minutes left in this first half, we do have a throw-in from a similar area where we have been dangerous so far in this first half, but it has been a brilliant half, especially with the pressure coming off the back of that previous loss to Reading. And Erhog Hyde here has the ball right around the halfway mark as we to take our time to mount another attack. That's poor from him though. Adebayo will get a shot off, but thankfully it's a weak one. Poussin makes the save. Still 3-0 up and in fifth spot on the table, just approaching half-time. And that is half-time in this last game of the regular season. We are 3-0 up here, absolutely dominating Luton Town, thankfully, off the back of that prior result against Reading, and some of those other results are going our way as well. So we do currently sit fifth on the table. We're going to make one sub here at half-time. Curtis Nelson can come on for McGuinness with that yellow card, but very happy with how this one is going. We should be able to hold on, and we'll keep a big eye out during the second half on those other results to make sure we do make those playoffs. And we go all the way forward to the 70-minute mark for our next update in this one, because we are about to make a substitution with nothing happening so far in this second half. As you can see, we are still fifth on the live ladder. That is because Blackpool 3-1 up over Coventry, so that's certainly helping us with that goal differential in our favour. But we do need to keep an eye out on what Sheffield United are doing with 10 men. They have grabbed 2 goals back, which is very interesting indeed. A quick double, including one to Billy Gilmore. But while we are here, we are going to make a substitution. Ben Hardy has been pretty knackered of late with the injuries to the likes of Perry Ings, so we better take him off here while we are in a strong situation. Du Jong Sterling can come on for him as we still hold our 3-0 lead. And right off the back of that substitution, finally something happening here in the second half, and it is a throw-in to Luton Town, who need to pull off some comeback here to try and stop us from picking up all 3 points. Good work there from Dubbo, but thankfully the shot a little bit weak. Poussin makes a decent save to keep it at 3-0. And we've just entered the last 10 minutes of this one. The scoreline's still the way they were earlier. We're going to put both our defensive midfielders now on defend. It's our last stoppage as well. I think we're going to take both of them off here. Patterson can come on for Coventry, and Rails we might give a rest to on a 6.5 as well. And Andy Rinamata, coming back from his injury, can get a little bit of game time. That's all of our subs used now. 3-0 up and still in 5th place on the live ladder. And only a few minutes off the back of those last few substitutions, a few more goals are going in, but thankfully none of them do look like they are impacting us here at Cardiff City. And we might have made the playoffs, despite the fact that when we took over in early December, we were all the way down in 21st place. We nearly blew things earlier with that 1-0 loss to Reading, but that 3-0 win on the final day, as well as I think results going in the way of the teams who took on Sheffield United and Coventry. And I think that means we do qualify for the playoffs in 5th spot. That would be some achievement considering the state this club was in when we did take over. And there you can see it confirmed. We have picked up that 3-0 win, and we jump above Coventry thanks to goal differential. And Sheffield United with an early red card, they nearly came back there against QPR, but they are the team who miss out alongside Sunderland. And Norwich with that nice run home, they jump up to 4th spot. Blackburn in 3rd. It was a very tight race for the playoffs this season in the Championship. But what that means is in the playoff semi-final, we will take on Norwich over 2 legs and hopefully make our way through to a final, taking on one of Blackburn or Coventry in tomorrow's episode. So we tried to blow that in the first game of today's episode, but thankfully we did the job there against Luton Town. Some other results went our way, and we make our way through to the playoffs, as I've said a few times. Big achievement considering where we were when we did take over here at Cardiff City. And what that does mean is we will take on Norwich in the playoff semi-final over 2 legs. And then if we make it through that, we take on the winner of the tie between Blackburn and Coventry in that playoff final to try and make our way up to the Premier League. And that would be a nice little present for our new person in charge here at Cardiff if we do have that takeover go through as well. But thankfully, we have got the job done there despite the fact it looked a little bit iffy off the back of that result against Reading earlier on. If you did enjoy today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And when we do come back tomorrow, we'll just quickly update you guys to on the Shackle's injury. It was a minor one, so thankfully we did take him off of the field when we did. Also, Kiona Tete might not be that far away for that first leg, considering it is 10 days away. That would be a very, very nice boost indeed, being the club's leading goal scorer for us this season. But tomorrow it is going to be completely focused on the playoffs. As I said, first off, we take on Norwich. And if we get through that, we're going to take on one of Coventry or Blackburn in that playoff final to see if we can go up to the Premier League. And also, we will have the end of season review, so it's going to be a big one to wrap up the week here on FMOE tomorrow. Quick reminder, no video on Friday UK time, Saturday New Zealand time, so that will be the last one of the week, and we'll get started with the new season come the start of the next one. But until tomorrow for the playoffs here with Cardiff in the Championship, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.